What is up, guys? It is Ty with Cross South Dakota RC, and we are doing our first build video. This build video, we're going to go over building a 1/10 Capra with a little bit of a twist. We're going to be using H10 Optic Axles on this thing, front and rear, for rear steer. So let's get right into it. Now, as you see before me, we have a pile of parts. I've got our H10 Optic front housing. I've got some brass weighted knuckles for it. Got a cheap Amazon servo. It's like 40 bucks. It's a low profile, I think 35 kg. And then I have some overdrive gears by Trio that we're going to assemble into this here housing. We're going to get this one done. We'll probably get the rear done. And then at some point, we're going to be doing a 3-gear in there as well. So let's go ahead and start assembling this thing. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. This is my first time doing anything really with Vanquish. I've always just bought Axial parts or cheap Amazon parts. So I'm going to go ahead and lay everything out. For those of you that don't know me or first time finding the channel, I am a big die-hard Axial and just RC rock crawler guy in general. If we actually look past that, I am a pretty big rock crawler guy in general. I have a couple full-size rigs, do a lot of the politics, and this is a hobby that I used to do when I was younger. And I've recently picked it up just for kind of some peace and quiet. It gives me something to work on inside, not having to stress out in a garage. If I do not finish a task in one night, I don't have to worry about driving it to work or rock crawling it that weekend. So, but been in the hobby since about 2008 when I was a kid, and it wasn't until 2013 that I got my first axial crawler. Got a nice set of directions here, all pretty straightforward. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the hardware open. This is crazy. So this is the Vanquish gears, right? It's got the very beautiful Vanquish logo on there. And this is the Trio set, also very pretty. But these are for an SCX-10 too. So let's see if they work. And for those of you that want it, there is the part number and everything right there. Alright, so it looks like it's got us assembling the ring gear right off the bat. I have to admit, Vanquish's gear sets have always gone together extremely well. I did just recently set one up in an F9, so that I guess would have been my first one. Setting the mesh was a little bit of a different story, but we got that done. I haven't ran the axle yet, so I guess we'll see how it does. Alright, we got it. Everything, all the hardware is in there. It's good to go. Got a dog hair. So, which will be these guys. And I'm actually going to throw a little bit of grease in here before I pop them on. Oh wow, never mind. Take a look at that. They have come, if it will focus, pre-greased. Wonderful. And these guys go on here. Very nice fit for plastic. Wow. Now we're going to take our carrier. This guy here. So it would be a carrier in the rear wheel. Real world. Real wheel. Right here. Another little layer of grease. There we go. Nice, super smooth gear set, ton of grease. All the screws are in, so we're going to go ahead, and it looks like now we will be installing it into the actual housing. So it just drops in. Wow, just like that. That easy, very easy. I've assembled tons of SSD axles, which those are all also very easy to assemble, but this one is just such a different setup. I'm really excited to get this thing in one piece. So next we gotta screw the housing and the carrier together. I'm gonna knock that out really quick. I'm trying to take a look here on how exactly, it looks like this guy goes in there like this. That hold in, I really like how they did that. These blocks here go on top and just clamp in your servo ears. So let's install that really quick. Last screw up top. Now I still have the straps on 2 screws below, but I just want to show off. I've got to do this twice, but just absolutely beautiful. So cool for a little RC axle. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting this all together and show you guys when it's done. Alright guys, I went ahead and just burned through what was left of this one here, and man, did this thing turn out absolutely incredible for an RC car axle. So there's those big old weights. Only problem I ran into was the powder coating or whatever they used inside of here is all caked up in the threads. I should have cleaned the threads out, but I kind of just powered through it. Overall, this thing looks really good. One thing I also dropped the ball on, this is a 360-degree servo, so I need to set it up for a 180-degree throw. But this thing is going to have a massive amount of steering throw. Got a ton of weight in the front there. Just overall, this thing looks absolutely incredible. Kind of want to get more of these and find some other rigs to put these under, just because they look so good. So front has overdrive, 8-tooth pinion, 27-tooth ring gear, the weights. So let's go ahead and knock out that second one. I'm not really going to film in depth on that one, but overall these went together super easy. Cannot wait to get them under the rig. Alright guys, here is the rear axle. This one I only put a 264, can you read it there? 264 ounce servo. This is just the rear steer axle, so I don't need anything crazy. The only downside I've noticed, listen to this. I have played with this rear pinion a ton. I've messed with these screws here, and I just cannot get it to mesh well. So I'm going to have to keep playing with that. Good thing I have a spare set of gears now, right there. But that is the rear axles for this here build, guys. I don't know what else I'm going to throw in with this video, but for now I am going to end it on these rear axles and call it a night. Well, that escalated quickly. Let's go ahead and take 5 minutes. I'm going to show you guys how this turned out. I've already got one run under it. I absolutely love it. We got some brand new tires on there too, so let's check this thing out real quick. Now, starting at the front axle, I've got overdrive gears in the front, with the rear just being the standard gears. The transmission is a Amazon 3-gear aluminum housing with hot racing gears and a Vanquish Dig unit. I'm using 32 pitch gears with a 56-tooth spur gear and a 12-tooth pinion gear. The motor is a Fusion SE. It's the 1800 kilovolt. I'm running a 3S LiPo. Other than that, the servos, I've got a 260 ounce servo in the rear and a 400 ounce servo in the front. They are low profile servos so that they fit with the cage. I got very little up travel, but I'll go over that next. Now, the suspension. I'm using 100mm Desert Lizard shocks. I've got them set up in a droop setup with the medium-sized soft spring underneath the piston and a small soft spring up top. While I have almost zero up travel, I have all sorts of down travel. The links for the rear, I'm using Wraith bent links and then high clearance links up front. I'm using Traxxas rod ends on the back side. Originally I had the rear end sitting out a little bit farther. However, I brought it in some as I wanted to run 1.9s. And at the wheelbase it was at, 1.9s were just not gonna cut it. So I sucked the rear axle in a little bit. Now the front, I'll be honest with you guys, I kind of just dug through my link pile and found a set of links that's going to work. They're high clearance links up top and on bottom. I don't know the exact links. However, the front end is pushed forward pretty good. So look at that approach angle. I have got like the whole grill and everything is way behind the tire. Now onto the wheel and tire combo. I have brass on the axle, I have a brass ring inside, and I have a brass hub on these wheels. The tires are Proline 1.9 treps, and they measure in at 4.9 inches tall. This was the tallest 1.9 tire I could find. I've got those. The rear has no brass. This is going to be the first run for these tires. I have some Endura foams, or Endura knot foams inside of here. So we'll see how it does. Drive shafts, I just use Axial's wild bore drive shafts. They're the easiest to use. However, this is going to be my setup. We'll see how this does. I've never had a dedicated crawler. They've always been trail trucks. And I'm really interested to see if I can get good at driving this, especially when it comes to rear steer and dig. All right, guys, we are at the dam, and I have set up what I think is going to be a pretty fun little course. This is my first time setting up a course, so bear with me. This is the dam. It is an old recreation lake. The dam that sat here was blown in, and this is all that is left. There's a little pond up at the top, little waterfall. I use this section here off to the right through here, and all through here as like a tough truck challenge, but I'm gonna stay out of the mud on this one. So let's check out this course real quick. So we will start right here. Our first gate, besides, well, at the start, comes up to this little easy obstacle right here, just to kind of test things out. And as we go through, it is only gonna get harder. So there's our next gate. Then down through here, nice little easy section, and then it gets a little harder. So we see the gate on the left, but I'm actually gonna come up through here. We're gonna swing around through here, up, swing around again, and then we're gonna go down through there and back through the course, back to the start. Let's see how this thing does. Great. I have a feeling that the clearance with these diffs are really gonna be an issue with this build, especially with this wheelbase. But it's my first time with the 1.9 treps. No real need for the rear steer yet. Maybe I'll give a little vertical wall on the left. So I wonder if I want to bump my tires this way. Let the sidewalls crawl. Now that is one thing that I have discovered so far, is this servo in the rear is just not enough to do it. Oh man, this rear steer is just helping a ton. Let's go ahead and bring that servo back. Uh-oh. We are on our skid. There we go. Oh, that suspension worked really well. I am very happy with that. At first I wasn't. Get the rear steer pulled over. There we go. Get the rear steer up. Bring that back around. Nice. So now we are on to the hallway, and this is a hard one. I already heard what I think was a diff gear pop, but I don't hear any clicking, so that's good. But this hallway on all my like straight axle rigs, this is hard, especially even the full body rigs. Let's see. Okay. I wonder if I bring it down like that. Nice. And we, ooh, that servo is just, it's getting bound up. So now that we've got that, a little too far. Never mind. Oh. Okay, there we go. I wonder if I go full. Oof, I've put myself in a bad situation. And that front. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's getting a little bound up though. Let's go check this out. So it's getting a little bound up here. Oh, that's why. Get the front. Maybe we bring the rear around. There we go. And once we get oof. There we go, there we go. I want to get that way. These servos are not happy. I can say that. There we go. Don't want to straighten it out. Oh, too far, too far. Almost lost you. Yeah, these servos are not happy at all. I want that rear straightened out. Okay, so now I gotta go hard driver to make this decline. Now we're coming down this way. I gotta get that rear end around. Oh, I'm gonna hit that gate for sure. Yeah, I'm hitting it. Screw it, take the gate. Okay, I'm gonna put the rear back where I want it. There we go. Nice. Look at that. The not having enough strength from the servos definitely hurts. But we're making do. The sidewalls really hook up on this. I'm gonna make that rear end climb. Now it's over. I'm gonna straighten you back out. Now I do want to be honest, those are just some Amazon servos. They're not anything fancy. So I can't really say I expected much. I've had pretty good luck with Amazon servos for the most part. Maybe it's just time to upgrade to some reefs, I don't know. Let's get the rear over. Yeah, they're just, that rear one is not happy. See? No. Not happy. Back at the start. There you go, guys. That was the first run of my Axial Capra on H10 Optic Axles. I had a lot of fun getting out here. This is one of my favorite spots to crawl. It's absolutely beautiful today. The crickets are going, the creek's babbling. We just have beautiful weather. So thank you for tagging along in the adventure. I will catch you in the next one.